square instead of, because he had this jaw in it.
Oh, that was gonna cost more to do it that way?
Well, because now you gotta, you know what I mean, cut. Now, if you just do a big square, it's kind of not that expensive to do.
Yeah, okay. We're live right now. I'm gonna call Sue.
Okay. Well, the meeting's not till 9.
I know, but he's got the camera on right now, just so we can, he doesn't have to go down there and run it.
Quick setup.
John, can I make a motion on this?
No, we're not just discussing there.
Okay.
I mean, I was just wanting to keep you guys posted.
Okay, so we're waiting to see.
Yeah, we need a price.
Right.
I'm not gonna answer the phone now. I just talked to her 10 minutes ago before you got here.
How'd she sound?
She sounds sick.
This is 86.
When did she call me?
It started to move. Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, we got 10 minutes, so that clock's right.
Good morning.
Hi, Sue.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
If we have this, are we gonna be voting on anything today? Because does that make it a meeting?
It is. It's an emergency meeting. It's a special. We are gonna vote on the car thing.
It's an emergency meeting,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
You're live now. So Mike, if you wanna, so can everybody hear Sue?
Okay, well, it's 9.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, well, so I'm gonna make a motion that we open this emergency meeting at 9:01. So I just need a second from you.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes?
Sue?
Yeah.
Okay, motion passed. We're open at 9:01.
Okay, so John.
All right. What we have, we've been discussing, and the reason for the quickness of this is that we've been looking for a car for the administrative offices. Joe, making sure that we can handle all the extra things that he's having to do as an IT department and all that. The reason I had to run it is that he found a car, but it's a car, and we can't wait for weeks. They're only gonna hold it until today. And I believe, Joe, that was the only one in this area that had.
Yes.
So there's a.
Yeah, the other ones are built to order, and even all the dealerships I talked to, even at a state contract level, stated that they don't have any, they have the opinion that Ford is gonna be able to fulfill the orders this year. So even if we try to go through the state, there's no guarantee we would get a car this year.
So what we're kind of stuck in a time frame here. We have one that meets all the requirements that we need, but who knows how long it's going to be available. So that's why we wanted to do it today.
Okay, is the, so I'm gonna make a motion that we okay this purchase price, of $43,045, from
It's,
Spitzer Ford. Okay, and Sue, I just need a second for discussion.
Second.
Okay,
All those in favor, Mike,
yes.
Sue.
Well, we're just
Want to
gonna,
make sure it was out there. So
okay, so, so do we have any kind of government contract price on this, or?
not on that one. We could, and what Joe was trying to do, that's where they don't have any of them. They have to build them.
So that could
and
take
they
up to a
could be-
year?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they can't even give us a timeline on when those will be ready. So
So Joe, this has what you need and what administration can use, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Ford Explorer, so it's kind of very similar to what we use for our PE vehicles. It's a hatchback, we have fold down rear seats, so we can get equipment in it if we have to move stuff up. I've been working on the new park that's behind Kohl's. If I need to move ladders or equipment back and forth, I can fit stuff in there. Right now, I've just been using my Prius.
Okay, so this will serve our needs?
Yes, and for future, it is a plug-in hybrid, so it can run electric only, about 40 miles of pure battery, and then it kicks on the gas engine. So when we get our charging stations at the town hall, we will be able to plug it in. We'll have, say 40 miles of efficiency, which 99% of the time, just shooting around Brimfield, that's fine. But if anyone needs to take it for a distance, Columbus, Cleveland, whatever, it just runs as a normal hybrid with a gas engine. So I think it's very future friendly.
Oh, so you driving around town will be no gas?
great.
Pretty much.
It's electric, 40 miles.
And I did the math. I don't know what the township pays for their trustee, but When I get at my house, a full charge in that car will cost me $1.30. So I pay just under 9 cents per kilowatt hour. That car holds 14,000 kilowatts. So it's $1.30 in electric. So
Well, and how
that's
many
like
miles
about-
do you even drive in a normal day? You never drive more than 40
Right,
hours.
exactly. So
it'll always be
it's gonna
charged.
cost almost nothing to operate that vehicle.
Wow,
Other
that's
than
good.
little changes in, maintenance.
Right.
So,
Well, then are we gonna get some kind of labeling on the car?
yes, we are.
Just
So
so they
we'll
know
have
it's-
it'll be a township administrative car or whatever we'll.
What color is it?
It is metallic gray, so it's dark gray.
That gray seems to be the color
That's what
now.
my truck is too.
Yeah.
And Cassie's car is the
I
same
think it'll
color.
look good with the Brimfield logo, the reds and the way, it'll look nice with the logo on it.
Well, after we purchase it, we'll take it down and get the stickers and stuff put on it. and
Okay.
do all that. But today was just to get it so that we don't lose it today, since it is the only one. Joe went to how many, 4 different places around here, and nobody had anything.
And I was looking at them, but they're just hard to find, because they're selling now, and Ford just isn't able to produce them as fast as they're selling. Because everyone wants electric and hybrid these days.
Okay. Sue, do you have any questions?
So we're looking at this car that can be electric or gas, right?
Right.
Well, it's a hybrid, so the first 40 miles will be electric, but if you go on a long tour, after it runs out of the electric, it converts over to gas.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about, not having enough charge.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know we casually talked about this here a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
And, I know too that the guy's not gonna hold it,
Right.
when he has other buyers there for it too. So I realize that, it really is important that we do this today, that for him.
Yep.
So I'm not concerned, but I just wanna have the idea, and I don't know how Mike feels about this, or what our discussion should be. But all the department heads, they have a car, and they don't have to share it with everybody else. But I do realize too, the importance and the need that we have for the admin people running here and there. Are they gonna have access to that too?
Yes,
Or,
they are.
what y'all think, Joe? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked with Kristen and Michelle and everyone else, if they need to use a vehicle, if they're going, to somebody in Cleveland, Columbus, it's the township vehicle, they have access to it.
So you guys can work out things between you.
Yeah, they need it a certain day, they'll have access to it, it's like, Liberator, Brimfield, just so it's not sitting there, I'll take it home at night, but if they need it a certain day, then that day I'll take my personal vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
So. Joe will be able to drive this back and forth from home to work?
Yes, he will. He's gonna charge it at his house too, so we're getting out of having to charge it. He's charging it there every night. So not that it's gonna cost a lot of money to charge, but yes, he's gonna drive it around, but the girls will have access to it if they need to go somewhere.
And Joe, does that come with a charging unit?
It comes with what's called a level 1 charger, your standard 110 outlet.
Okay.
So it charges at that speed, and once we get the charging stations at the town hall, those, I believe, are level 2 chargers. So those will be 220. So it's possible, to buy a level 2, they're like $300-400. It wouldn't make sense for me to put a level 2 charger in my house because it's a township vehicle, so I'll just plug in a normal 110. But if you decide to do something more later, then that level 2 charger is really not that expensive.
Well, Joe, tell me how this works, just because you're smarter at it than I am. But it automatically charges itself too, right? As you're driving down the
Yes, and as
road.
you're braking, as you're going downhill, it's called regenerative charging. So it uses the electric motor as a generator. So it uses that to charge itself. But majority of your battery power comes from plugging it in.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, will the township pay for the insurance coverage on the car?
Yes, just like any other township-owned vehicle, it'll be under our policy with Otarma.
Okay.
And Sue, I was talking to John, and I guess it's another point is, Cassie's park car, She also lets people use that if they need it, right?
She did. Cassie let, well, it wasn't an issue. Rochelle had to go to Columbus for a cemetery training. She was having issues with her own car, so she took Cassie's. No big deal. She drove it down and came back with it. So
that's
they're
good.
available.
Okay, so they need to know that, to not drive to Columbus.
Right.
With their own vehicle.
Yep. Yeah, and it's been real easy working at the office with that.
If we do that, if Cassie does that with her car, then that's okay if Joe does that with his car. That way, that way it keeps everybody.
Right. It's
So-
right there in the admin office. So we
Hey,
would,
Sue, Joe says we all get along. We're a happy family.
Good, okay.
Okay, so now, see, I made a motion.
yep, to purchase it from a Ford Explorer from Spitzer Ford. Price $43,045.
Right.
So I just need to vote. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes?
Sue?
Yeah, did Mike make the motion?
He did. You seconded it before we talked
And
about it.
I seconded,
Yep.
okay.
Okay.
All
All right, motion passed. So we will go along with that. I have a check here too, just because I was trying to get it all at one time. Mike signed it, Sue. I'll come over and get a signature from you, if that's okay.
Well, wear your mask.
I'm gonna hide out in the driveway. You,
Okay, you call me and I'll come out to the garage.
okay. All right. And it'll either be me or Joe, because I have an appointment at 10. So depending on how long we go here, I'll send Joe over too, if that's it. But, okay. He says he has a mask. So
Okay, it's be in the next 10 minutes?
no, probably in the next 45 minutes or so.
Okay, just call me when you're on your way.
Okay.
Sue, we got one other thing?
Yep. And I'm gonna give you a copy of this, Sue, when you get it. It's when we were talking about the building, and I don't know, did you see the blueprints from Dave yet?
Oh, I haven't been out of my house since Wednesday night.
Okay. All right. Well, we have a set of blueprints for the community or the road crew garage. And it's going to be it's in the new land that we bought. So when you pull in off of Edson, it's going to be on the right-hand side where the water tower is, that piece of parcel right there. And we passed this at the prior meetings with Charles to do work on that. So
Right.
Charles and Dave and I have met multiple times on this to figure out the drawings of it. And actually Dave went through the road crew guys and had them get suggestions so that we are coming up with a unique building. Where we are now is that Charles is sending it off to his pricing estimate guy so we can have a dollar amount to even know what it's worth, if we can even do it. What we have after this is Mike Wallen's company, the engineering group. They do all of our engineering. So he did give a proposal out to us of what those kind of costs would cost. It's everything from the sanitary sewer, the design and development of the site plan, the topographical surveys, final engineering site plans, all the things that would be involved in that process. So we were just chit-chatting about that today. Those numbers, just so you know, are probably which would be included in the loan as well. Could be anywhere from $20,000 to $28,000, $29,000 for the whole project. Some of these are as needed,
Okay,
But Sue, we're not gonna ask for a motion because we wanna wait and see what the estimate is, for the building. Because, what Dave and I and John have all been thinking is we'd sure like to do it through JED revenues versus having to go to the voters. Because I think the voters are tired of taxing. So we're trying to,
yeah, and I wouldn't want to go to the voters for that.
well, and we've been getting creative a lot too.
I'd like us to be able to show the voters that we're being very fiscal responsible and that we're trying to improve what we have and yet be fair to them too.
Yeah.
and I mean, this would really be a good JED expense because it is an improvement of the JED. And I mean, Dave, more than anybody now, needs a facility. I mean, he's still in that antiquated facility, and I mean, his burden on the township roads and the safety of the community is increasing, So it's, what we're doing is, I put that text out to everyone just so whenever you feel better and if Nick has a chance to come on down to Dave's office and at least look at the plans.
Okay, I would do that.
And what we're gonna try.
I do have a question though.
Mm-hmm.
What is the maximum that we can do a project and not have to have 2 or 3 other bids? Do we have to bid this out?
Oh,
Well, we'll have to bid the project out.
Oh, yeah, the
Like
project.
50,000 now?
Yeah, it's 49,999. So,
So we can take this, we can work with Charles and not have to
correct.
bid it out for other people.
And we can work with Wallen as well, because he's underneath that. But then Wallen's part of his job is getting it out to bid and doing all that. So
Yeah.
all the project would get out to bid.
And see, Sue, this is a prefab building. So Dave is gonna try to schedule a time where we can all go and look at it. Because apparently what Stowe used is the same kind of building, and ODOT in Rootstown has the same kind of building.
Is this like a metal building, like a steel building?
Yes.
It is, Sue.
So I mean, we're gonna
Okay, I know what that is.
we're gonna save a lot of money on building a prefab building. And I mean, Dave's been great. He's had the road crew all involved in this process. So, so they're really making some strides, putting this, and thanks to John's help, he's been working with them.
We'll just get it all ready so you guys can see it and see and then we can proceed from there. But we don't even know how much it costs. If it costs $10 million, we need to go back and start taking
Cutting
things
things.
away, right? But I feel if the price in the 2.5 million, which is probably what it's going to be, we'll be able to we'll get it out of JED proceeds and possible TIF dollars as well. So, which wouldn't cost the voters anything.
And then they would realize the merit of the Jeds.
Right.
So,
Well, when I get my act together a little bit better, I can get out of here, I'll get a hold of Dave and go down there and he can tell me about it.
yeah,
Show me the plans and all that.
yeah, I mean, it's
But
just,
if it's a prefab thing like what the ODOT has, I don't have any problem with it. They've already
Well,
invented the wheel.
I mean, imagine the amount of money we're gonna save on drawings. I mean, we're still gonna need an architect, but we're not gonna have to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, and that's kind of where Charles has been helping us with. Charles, I really didn't get a chance to work with Charles very much, but he's a sharp fella.
Oh, he sure is.
He's very creative. When you see the pictures of this building, you're going to be like, wow, it can even help police and fire from the ability to do oil changes down there, repairs, those kind of things. That all can be done at our road crew facility, which will save us more money. Dave's holding his hand up, but that's our plan, is that we're going to do some stuff like that down there. So,
But not tomorrow.
yeah, not tomorrow, but hopefully down the road here.
So this is just informational.
If we have the money now to do these things, it's best, in my opinion, it's best for us to do it. Because of what we've got, I've seen really lean times when we didn't even have enough money to make payroll.
Right.
$612. I remember that.
Well, and what we're running into down with the road crew garage, Sue, is that there's one of the buildings that, I don't know, it should have been torn down, 15, 20 years ago? The cold storage. And then the salt bay's seen its days too. It needs to be replaced. And there's some issues down there that we've got under control now, but we just need to make sure that they stay under control with the EPA and all that. Our building's just old. So,
Right, it is.
we're fixing a lot of that stuff by doing this as well.
What was it, about 10 years ago or so, we had the drawings made for a new road building and everything.
Well,
And then we just signed on it, couldn't do anything. But a building like ODOT has, I think that's to our advantage that we waited.
Right.
And that's why you gotta go with us when we look at one, Sue. just so you can see it.
Okay.
It'll be a field trip. I don't know if they'll have food for us, but
Well, as the needs of Brimfield keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, I mean, unfortunately, we need to keep up with those, especially with the roads. I mean, we have Cranberry Creek's coming, right? How many miles is that? 3 miles?
Well, that's another 1.6 miles as of the first phase.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and then any of those other projects out there, we have Maple Crest Drive back there now too. When that gets, I mean, there's just gonna be,
and wait till those new projects kick in money to the JED.
Right.
My God.
we didn't even get Hamrick money in the JED, and it was a big increase from where it was the time before.
I know. I wonder
So,
what the total payroll is. Well, I'll have to ask Mike. I'm sure he knows that.
the one that's coming in though, if they bring their home office there, that's 600 employees. That would be
Which one?
the Martin Wheel. They haven't decided if they're making it a distribution center or if they're making it their home office or not. So
Oh.
that would be huge too.
Yeah.
Well, I went to that Hamrick, welcome. And, they're even they have like a 5-year plan. They've already planning expansion.
Right. They bought all that extra land over there so they could expand, and now they're already getting to it earlier than they thought.
Right. So,
Wow.
it's gonna take more employees in the road department to make these things happen.
Well, and even right now, some of the issues we're having with our vehicles and stuff, we have to park them outside. So they're getting weathered a little bit. So the lifeline of some of those vehicles is being shortened. So it's just kind of a big combination of all this stuff.
Right.
So,
Okay.
As long as we stay on top of it.
yep,
Well, hopefully by maybe the next meeting, Charles will at least give us an estimate
hope so.
so we
I'll
can at
push
least get some of the stuff going.
Yep.
So is there anything else we need?
That was it. I just wanted to chit chat about the building, but then Joe's going to come by and,
I gotta tell Mike something.
okay.
The, Maria Mata she resigned from being the president of the Young at Heart.
Right.
So it says in the bylaws of the Young at Heart that they are supposed to give an annual accounting or a letter to the township trustees as to what they've done over the year. And I think that was put in there because you guys weren't charging us to use the Brimfield Manor as a meeting place. I have this letter from Marie, and when Joe comes over, I'll give him that letter to get it back to Mike, because I'm sure she's wondering why she hasn't had any response from it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, Marie's been very good about letting me know what's going on. I don't, Sue, you're more involved with them now. I mean, they're not planning on using their office anymore, are they?
Running for office for what?
No, using that office upstairs. I think that was more when Steve was here.
Yeah. You know they have that room up there, Sue, right?
Oh, you mean well, we have stuff up there.
So are they still using it, or do they want to use it, or?
Oh, no, they still want to use it.
Okay.
Okay.
They still want to use it, as far as I know. We're having an election of new officers. March, it's the second Friday in March.
Okay.
Like 10 o'clock, we're gonna elect new officers. They've all been nominated. And then whatever they decide to do. But as far as I know, at this point, Donna Ray Flannery's gonna be the new president.
Oh,
Okay. Well, good. Well, just so they know they have that office.
Going on over there. No, at this point, I'm sure they don't want to give up that office.
No.
Because we meet there every month and have stuff stored up there too.
Well, that's good.
I'm sure we'll be using it.
Yeah, I remember Marie and Steve. They were the first people to show up here when we started working on this community center.
great.
That was eight years ago.
Was it that long ago already?
Wow.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Wow.
How time flies.
We have 80-some members right now.
Oh, they just took my dryer, my washer.
Well, anyway, I'll give Joe that letter and he can.
You're
get it
gonna go
back to you,
over it
'cause
now?
I won't be getting out of my house for another week.
So as soon as the meeting's over, Joe will be there in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Well-
All right.
Well, thanks, Sue, for at least calling in.
Okay.
Yeah, hope you're feeling better.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Uh,
So,
Are you feeling any better?
you've been through it, Mike, you know what it is.
Yeah.
So is John.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hang in there. If you need chicken noodle soup, I can drop it off on your porch.
Okay, yeah, tell Joe to come to the garage on Elmhurst. Don't
Okay.
come to the front door.
I'll show him how to get there.
Okay.
Garage on Cherrywood.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion, Sue, that we close this meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor that we adjourn at 9:24 a.m. Mike,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, we're out at 9:24. Thanks, Sue. Thanks for
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sue.
calling in on your COVID day. So, all right, bye. All right, Joe's gonna turn off the camera down there. We'll be all set.
I had to put that in there.
Well, he still didn't respond. So, what are you gonna do?
Thanks, Dave. Well, hopefully they come down to look at that.